let's take a look at the part of speech called adverbs, what an adverb is and why we use adverbs in sentences. An adverb modifies or describes a verb, an adjective, and it can also describe another adverb. So why do we use adverbs in sentences? Well, they're very similar to adjectives in their purpose, and that is they add description and they also add variety to your writing. Let's look at a few examples of adverbs and how they're used. In this first example, the music played softly in the background. In this example, softly is the adverb. And it's the adverb because it's describing how the music played. So in this case, it's modifying or describing the verb played. In the second example, he had a very busy day at work. Very is an adverb, and it modifies or describes the word busy, which is an adjective. And in the third example, he complained very loudly about all the work he did. The adverb is very, and it describes the adverb because adverbs can actually describe other adverbs. It describes the adverb loudly. So keep in mind that adverbs frequently end in ly. That's one way that you can tell if a word is an adverb. So in these examples, the first one, he answered the question slowly and carefully. There's your adverb, slowly and carefully. And they're adverbs also because they're describing the verb answered. And adverbs describe verbs or modify verbs. So how did he answer it? He answered it slowly, and he also answered it carefully. In the second example, he abruptly left the meeting and quickly drove to his appointment. Again, ending in ly, one adverb. Quickly is another adverb. And in this case, how did he leave the message? He left it abruptly. And how did he drive? He drove quickly. So both these adverbs again are modifying the verbs. So keep in mind that's one way to pick out adverbs is they often end in ly. They end in an ly. A second way that you can tell if a word in a sentence is an adverb is it will tell you where, when, how, or to what extent. So let's take a look. Where? In this sentence, the table is outside. Outside is an adverb because it's telling you where is it? It's outside. Indoors would be another one. When? If it answers the question when, it's also an adverb. He rented the car yesterday, today, tomorrow. All those words would be adverbs referring to when. Another way you can pick out an adverb is if it answers the question how. The weather changed how? It changed drastically. Or if you use the word greatly, unbelievably, how. And those words will end frequently in ly. And the last example is if it answers to what extent. He was completely wrong about the weather, or you are utterly incorrect, unbelievably wrong. Again, they often end in ly, and they are referring to what extent. The last example of adverbs that I want to point out would be these words, and they include never, always, often, just, very, to, and well. Those words are also considered, they're called adverbs. Let's look at some examples here. He had a very busy day at work. She is often late for her doctor's appointment. And in the last example, he never misses an opportunity to go to a hockey game. So those are all examples of adverbs. Let's look at these 3 sentences and we'll try to select the adverbs together. She smiled excitedly as she gracefully walked up to the stage. So keeping in mind that it's often words ending in ly, or there'll be words that refer to where, when, how, and to what extent, and also the words never, always, often, just, very, to, and well. They're all adverbs. So keeping those rules in mind, she smiled. How? She smiled excitedly. So excitedly modifies the verb smile. It's an adverb, and it also ends in an ly. As she walked, how did she walk? Gracefully, ends in ly, and it modifies the verb walked. So you've got 2 adverbs. We swam lazily in the refreshingly cool water. You've got how did we swim? We swam lazily. And here's another one. The water is refreshingly cool. So it's describing the adjective cool, which describes the noun water. So refreshingly also ends in ly. It's an adverb. And in the last example, I seldom arrive late to my job. Seldom is one of the words that could also be added here. Never, always, often, referring to time. Seldom would be another example. So you've got seldom describing how infrequently you arrive. Or if you say, I never come to work on time. I always am late for my job. I often arrive late. Those are all examples of adverbs. So try to use adverbs more frequently in your writing. Again, you will find that they will add variety just as adjectives do. Thank you.